All right, all right. Hello, hello. Welcome everyone back to the studio or the beach cabana. Yet another happy hour show. How is everybody doing tonight? I am lacking co-hosts, so I just have these wonderful guests here. We have Black HEXican. How you doing over there? I feel like I just saw you a couple days ago, which I did.
Yes, had a great time at Talladega. I am doing a-okay.
And someone is a race fan from what I can tell on Twitter.
Yeah, it's happening, man.
Locked in.
I mean, it was so good. It was good.
Yeah, it's an experience and a kind of just like its own event culture. And once you kind of get in, and it's just a good vibe like for days. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's totally cool. And down below, as we wait for other co-hosts to join us, it is the catcher of dips, Brian, aka Tanto Nomini, aka Dip Catcher, co-founder or creator, however you want to put it, of Maximus. How you doing, man? Welcome.
Good. Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
No problem. Just great to have you here. I think we had Gold Key on a couple weeks ago, kind of for the launch, and then I guess we're 27 hours away from the close ish, something like that. So it's got to be an exciting time for you. We're going to get into that a bit. There's another guest in the chat. Hello, aBit. Welcome. I thought you were going to be on with us, but welcome to you. And what is up, chat? So let's just go through it really quick. Dougie, Maddie Allen, what is going on? Hexicat, Bearded Saint, Red Squirrel, Shell, Hexecutioner. What is going on, Marion? Good to see you. Yes, we will be talking Maximus today. Absolutely. Excuse me. Bobby Hexelrod. Who else is in here? Oh, yes. What are you doing, Bobby? We can watch Ozark after the show, but yeah, I'm a huge Ozark fan, so I'm curious to see how that plays out. Anybody here watch that show?
Mhm.
Are you up to date?
No.
Oh, okay. I have not started the the first part of the last season,
Yeah.
so I need to just go through them all, and I guess I
Yeah.
might do that this weekend. And one co-host has arrived.
Hey,
Sir.
how
you
are
doing?
you?
Are you I put out, some teasers about a first pitch event. Or do you have a way to do this in mind, or are we just going to decide on the fly? Uh-oh. I think you're muted. Still muted. All right. Well, we'll let Big K figure it out here. We'll just hope he doesn't wreck the car. You can just, I can pretend like I know what you're saying, and I'll just put words in your mouth. So Big K is he's giving away the entire stadium of tickets, is what he said, for the Cubs game. No, I'm just kidding. So, all right, well, we'll get back to that in a minute when this is, clearly doing this on the fly here. Hey, Big K, how you doing?
I think I'm back.
You are back now. Okay.
Ah, cool. How about that?
So how do you propose we do this wonderful hype train Chicago Cubs first pitch June 15th event? That's a pretty cool effect you got going on there through the steering wheel. I don't think we've ever had that here.
Yeah, how about that? Pretty nifty. I should probably put on my seatbelt too, huh? Before it says.
First of all, this character in chat, Maddie Allen, asks, when is the Cubs game for Big K?
June 15th. Juneteenth.
Juneteenth, suckers. People. Jot it down.
Hey, Chicago, what do you say?
19th, bro. I can't let that one fly.
Oh, yeah, it's June 19th. Pardon me.
That's Juneteenth.
That's Juneteenth.
Yeah,
the game is on the 15th.
Yes.
See? Thank you, Black HEXican, for correcting us. No better person to correct us. Thank you. Okay, so June 15th is the event.
June 15th is the game.
Hey, it's the weekend before Father's Day. So
It is
like, what
also the
better
weekend
gift,
before Father's Day. Get yourself
right?
a father's a gift.
Yeah, that's
Come
how
on
I've
down.
been like selling it to my husband. Like, come on, let's go to Chicago. They're playing the Padres.
Yes, they are playing the Padres too.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of excited to see the Padres as well. I got some favorite players on there. And Manny Machado used to play for the Baltimore Orioles, so I'm a big fan of Manny, and hope he's healthy and playing there. They have a decent squad. San Diego does, and Chicago hasn't started too bad either with Seiya Suzuki. He's
Yeah,
just
Suzuki's been on
tearing
fire.
it up. He's cooled off a little bit, but
Yeah.
Ian Happ's killing the ball too lately. He started off pretty decent. So, but yeah, the we have a beautiful price update here from Matty Allen. Milf Tony Allen, Hex 17.16.
So how about that? How about that? It's pretty cool.
But
I like that.
yeah, man. So supposedly, Big K, you have some tickets, and I know you're only with us for an hour or so, so I wanted to get your stuff out of the way.
I do have some tickets to give away.
Yeah.
I feel like we should, like, they're like, I'm not exactly sure how on stream we're gonna give these away, because the person that has to whoever applies has to be able to like come to Chicago for this event.
Indeed.
I'm like giving them tickets. I'm not giving them like round trip airfare and fucking and hotel and everything as well. These are like bleachers, like 2 bleacher seats, which is still cool, But
Right.
so somebody's gonna have to figure out how to get to Chicago and be accessible. So like we need to have only people that are gonna apply in that regard to like enter the contest. So I'm not sure how we should do that. Should we do Chicago trivia? Should we get some participants that are like will say that they definitely are going into like gonna be able to go to the game or like can make it? I don't know. I like somebody help me here.
I do like the last contest that you did. It was, but of course, you were kind of in studio with your Louis, and it was like, oh, what is this mystery item kind of thing? And then that actually.
Oh yeah, I could do a where am I driving to thing about Chicago maybe, or maybe a mystery, something like that. Some sort of mystery where what is this place kind of thing as I'm cruising the city here. We can do that maybe.
So you're actually in town.
So I don't have any things. I am actually in Chicago currently driving around,
Gotcha.
So
was there a famous
like
but not so famous landmark that could make it fun? I don't know. We'll think on it.
I could do one. We could do one and probably I got one that's nearby me right here that I could do in like maybe 8. I could drive there in about 8 minutes and we could give this away. And just like I could show you one item and like it's an iconic item and you'll either know the location or you won't. It's one or the other.
All right. So the first one to get it in chat, we can go with that, and we can only respond if you can go to the game in June 15th.
Yes, only respond if you can go to the game. You actually want a ticket to this game, and it should be easier because the people that are going to be able to guess this, they're like you're going to know it if you're in Chicago, and you should know this, So give me maybe 4 minutes. I'll probably be there right over. Like I can be there pretty quick actually. So.
Sounds good.
I just can't give it away. I do my best to not give it away at the same time.
We can just see the tops of trees through the sun, so you're good.
Perfect.
So I guess while you're driving on the way, I guess we can just take it down to BlaKC HEXican. How you doing down there? We chatted a bit about aBit. Get it? Yeah. About the Million Pulse tour. So we can, while Big K's getting to his destination, we can start to get into this a little bit. But we'll have some Q&A, I guess, after Big K gets there. But I guess tell us all about it, what you can at least. You know, if there's any surprises that you're holding back, obviously don't share those just yet. But you know, when we're starting, I know aBit was on. You know, he's been doing. We joke it's like the shill tour and things like that. But you are pretty much the key part of this, in my opinion, and in Motley's opinion, and many who have interacted with the group. So, who better than you to fill us in on a lot of these details?
Yeah, no, that's why I'm here. I love this. So, aBit is the best. He's so excited, like he just can't control it, you know. But he does. He just shills, right? He shills Hex. He's shilling Maxi. So like that's why I was like, I know he's gonna be here,
Yeah.
and he shills the tour. Like he just, you know, that's his thing. But it's really just about passion. It's excitement about this tour.
Yep.
So it's just bigger. The last tour, we really focused, or there wasn't a whole lot of focus. Let's just, you know, put that out there, that they got started super fast and they just wanted to, you know, show up to all these cities because they made that promise. So we did workshops in cities where there were huge crowds, and we did workshops in cities where there were like really small crowds, you know. And so the fact that, you know, PulseChain is coming, there's only one launch phase, right? So for people to really capitalize on the biggest potential, they need to learn now, right? So that's for us why this tour is so important, that we launch it somewhere near after the launch of PulseChain, because we really want to, and we want to coincide with students, with the school schedule, with colleges, so that this tour we can incorporate a lot of college stops, right? So we've planned it completely differently. This time there will only be 9 major events. You know, instead of 40 workshops in 40 cities, it's 9 major full day workshops in basically the like 9 biggest markets, right? Los Angeles, Sacramento, Chicago, New York, and they're all on ksb.tv. So that's where you can go and find out all the information, all the plans that have been done up until now, right? ksb.tv.
I mean, there's a lot of dates on the tour, so I want people to think there's just like 9 stops, but you're just identifying the major markets.
Yeah, so there's still 40 cities, right? It's still a full tour. But the difference is in that this tour, in most of those cities, we're only focusing on college visits, sporting events, and like the meetup style event, right? Where we can set up at a local well-known park, barbecue out there, invite the HEXicans, shill stickers and stuff to the passers, you know, and merch. You know, that's why it was important for us to set up this relationship with Hex merch. So we always have merch on the road all the time, where you as HEXicans, you know, oh, I just want to get this shirt. I've been thinking about this shirt for a long time, but I don't want to wait, you know, 2 weeks for shipping. And now the crew is here, you know? So it's really about bringing all the HEXican community together to do this tour together. And the way that we do that is that we don't overdo it in workshops. We just make our workshops really meaningful. We don't just have 2 speakers. We have, you know, Cabana, we have Motley, we have Big K, we have all kind of people. We have Steak and Ace. We might have, you know, Maxi representing. We have tons of different speakers contributing to these workshops because there's so many sessions, right? Sessions for beginners, sessions for people who are looking to stake, sessions for the big session, the big final session at the end of the day, where we give away millions of pulls, right? We got Hex performers performing, and it's a real vibe, right?
So I guess, you know, you said one of the exciting parts, I guess, is the giveaway. Is there a set amount each day? Does it depend on attendance, or is it just kind of like a?
So we're still ironing that part. The reason why we call it the Million Polls Tour is because we know we're giving away millions of polls, but it's hard to know exactly how many. When we started this, we were prepared to give away 1 million polls at every workshop, even if we did 40 workshops. Right now, we have condensed down to 9 workshops, but on top of that, we want to give every person in attendance at least some posts, especially like new people, some posts so that they can operate on the system, especially all the people that come to that intro session 1 course. Like, we are going to be giving away PulseX and PulseX at colleges, like all the time. So to know exactly how much right now we're going to give away at this, you know, big event at the workshop, it's hard to know, because Patrick, I don't know if you know about like his onboarding account, but like he started with this account in order just to onboard, just to give it away.
Yep.
And, you know, because of its success, he was able to sacrifice for Pulse. He was able to sacrifice some PulseX out of this.
Yep.
And all of this is just intended to give away. That's how we gave away over 5,000 heads in over 40 stops, you know?
That's awesome. I was happy to be a part of the DC stop, and it was a cool little group there. And I was actually surprised because you were talking about the sizes of the groups, and I figured DC would be one of the bigger ones, which it wasn't. But then later on in the tour, like some of the other cities, I mean, you just were packed, and it was just really cool to see. So let me check on Big K really quick to see if he's made it to the mystery destination. Big K?
Oh, we're close. We're very close.
Should I back it back out for another minute?
I'm like a stoplight away. So like, yeah, let me get into, you might want to, here, let me get my cam out of focus. Like, I'll just kill me so that way I don't give it away totally. But I'm about 0.4 of a mile. So like, I mean, it says one stop. It's like a long stoplight. This looks like it's some trafficy baloney. So might have like 2 minutes.
Well, while you're getting to the mystery location, I'll just reiterate the rules for chat. So this will be a giveaway for, is it 2 tickets?
2 tickets.
2 tickets for June
correct.
15th, San Diego Padres at the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. Big K, dressed in full Hex regalia, will be throwing out the first pitch at the game. So it's a huge event in itself, HEXican history. And if you want to be there for that event, there's going to be it's going to be kind of like a Hex meetup event. So there's going to be pre-gaming involved, from what I understand. Big K can elaborate. Correct. But it's going to be a fun day and night. So you want to be there if you can make it. So only if you can make it. If you can be in Chicago, June 15th. I will be there. Big K will be there. And I think quite a bit of other HEXicans are going to be there. But if you want tickets to the game, say so now. And Big K will be, I guess, unveiling the mystery location, or however he wants to do this, here in a second.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be there.
Uh-oh, we're losing some audio, Big K. Oh, no. Just go audio, maybe, for now.
Let me get my video here. No video. There we go. As soon as I get an image of where I'm at, somebody can give me the location of this iconic Chicago location. We'll go from there. I'm still. I can see it now. I'm still too far to give you what I need. I'm going to stop.
All right. Well, just yell, and I'll bring you back, and we'll talk a little bit more. Other events. Yes, Richard Hart is streaming with the ladies' discourse tonight. I believe. What time is that, by the way?
That's 5.
What is it?
5 p.m.
Pacific. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So it's 8 p.m. Yeah, because I know discourse usually runs at like 10 here. So yeah, the ladies' show leads into that. So yeah, that's going to be a fun little chat there. I saw Motley in the green room. He appeared for an instant. He is gone. We have another set of characters joining us as well.
Hey,
how's it going, guys?
What's going on? We were waiting for the Big K giveaway unveil. contest,
While we are
sweepstakes.
waiting, give us a quick feedback on our internet connection and on our audio.
We
You
need
guys
a
look
lot more
clearer
volume.
and louder than I was gonna say. They look like they have like the perfect 5G 10 gig
Yeah,
speed.
we
they're
are
looking
like in
crisp.
a pretty decent internet location here in the middle of the jungle.
Welcome to the jungle. Nice.
Sounds better.
All right. So
How are you doing, Kaden? How are you doing, Cabana? And who else is it there?
Dip catcher,
Ryan.
the catcher of dips, a
And the
hero
car
of
of Big K.
aBit and the Maximus coin.
It's so great that I get
Big K, it would look like so much better if he would stand out of the hex car right now, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Vacation by the hex card. That's what you're saying. Right?
Yeah, that's what
Anyways, what I want to say, it's so great meeting you. I've been
Okay.
Oh, look, Motley.
from day one.
What's up, guys?
So amazing how Maximus.
Can't hear aBit at all.
What's up?
Pull it,
Yeah,
pull it into the
Y'all's
Hexlion-
mic is quiet.
location.
Hexlion and aBit, we need your volume up so we can hardly hear
We
you.
can hear Hex Line. We can't
Are you
hear
guys
Oh,
ready
we can
for-
hear
are you guys
Hexline a
ready
little
for
bit.
the unveiling?
Yeah, aBit, we need you up a little bit.
Okay, it's better now.
Hey, is everybody ready for
Big K. Big K is doing the
Go for it, bro.
unveil. If you know this location,
Here.
go for it.
I thought this was happy hour.
Man, look at that awesome signal he's got.
Yeah.
Classic Big K fashion.
He's traveling around these days. We are about to find out.
Motley, your sound's really loud.
So let me show the most important thing that is going on right now, which is PulseChain. Guys, are you ready? Have you tested? Have you?
All right, stop shilling. All right. All right, so we are looking at it, Big K.
Let me get. Yes. Well, hang on. I'll even get out for y'all.
All right. Nothing in the chat yet. If you can identify.
Let me get Google out so I can win some tickets.
this
Can
landmark.
anyone identify those hot dogs?
So I don't know anything about Chicago.
No one can identify the hot
No.
dogs.
I'm doing a giveaway on my stream. I'm trying to get someone to identify these hot dogs.
Identify these wieners.
Identify
We have a
these
lineup of
people.
wieners.
Yes. I've got another view of them that you can take a look at too. Here
All right,
is
someone
another version
has guessed
of
Pinks,
these wieners. Nope.
Millennium.
Someone identify those wieners.
Portillo's.
Nope. People are on the right track, but they're not guessing correctly.
Oscar Mayer Processing Plant.
No, but here we do have a Vienna beef processing plant that's a beauty to be a part of, actually. As far as hot dog plants go, this particular hot dog facility, if you go to the Vienna beef place, is incredible because they use all 100% beef. And when they use all 100% beef, the beef they use is all like amazing cuts of steak and stuff. So you watch like top-notch pieces of meat go into what is hot dogs. It's incredible.
PVM Crypto says Super Dog Drive-In.
There it is. That's the one. PVM Crypto is the winner. This is Super Dog Drive-In. It's like a typical old school drive-in style where you drive your car in and you park and you get your grub, and it's greasy and it's terrible for you, but good God, it's delicious. It's beautiful part of Chicago history right there.
Jack Hexton is just a little late on it. She also
Whoever
got
PVM
it.
Crypto is.
Yep, PVM. So that's it. There we go.
I don't like the quality hot dogs. I like the disgusting, like sweep the butcher floor, get what you get kind of thing. Like those are my kind of hot dogs. I don't know what it is, but something's attractive about those to me.
Well, we do have our winner, so PVM. Hopefully, you can indeed go to that game, and we'll get your your contact information. Big K is back, so there you go.
Yes.
So PVM
Yeah, it's
Crypto
all audio?
got it. PVM, just make sure in the chat. Can you?
And hey, whoever was second place, also send me your info too, just in case PVM, that doesn't
That was
come
Jack
through for some
HEXican.
whatever reason.
So I recognize Jack. So yeah.
Jack HEXican, awesome. Sounds great. Well, perfect. I know her info.
There you go.
Sounds great. So kick ass. Well, PVM, I'm glad you won. Very good job figuring out some fine Chicago history right there.
Can I get a mic check real quick, Cabana? Is
You
it too
sound
loud?
good, man.
It's all right.
You
Yep.
sound all right.
Okay.
Can we get
Trying
one
different
for
spirit.
aBit now?
Right? So I used the time out to just chill from home.
We still need you up, brother.
Still need that up?
How is my audio? Is mine a little
Yours
better?
sounds
It's
okay.
great, Patrick. You're doing great. aBit, get your shit together. Just speaks into his chest. No, I think you're picking up on
Might
Patrick's
be picking
mic.
up on Patrick's mic.
Your mic does not seem to be working.
Alright, so we can use the difference.
It doesn't work like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Share a mic.
There you go.
Yeah, just share a mic back and forth.
Yep. Interview style.
Come on,
How you
guys.
doing there, Dip Catcher?
Yeah, we can do that like this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That'd be great.
Let's make a
Catcher
try
is
for
wrong.
it.
He's
Yeah.
like, I can't do this anymore.
Oh, for a second I thought Dip Catcher left, but he's got the invisible thing.
Oh, okay. He's pulled the Botley. You can't see me.
I just need to change settings.
Oh, this stream's going to chaos real quick.
It's in chaos from the start. So, yeah.
What the hell is going on here?
So Maximus.
Listen, I got the giveaway done that I was trying to get done, so I'm good. Everything else after that can go to shit.
Giving away money.
Just
right?
kidding.
Well, thank you,
Kidding,
Big K.
I'm excited.
If you could stick around and talk some high
Thank you.
stakes
How
there,
is
come
our
back in,
audio
that'd be
now?
cool. But if not, we'll try to work with what we have here.
No,
Is
I'll
our
jump
audio
back on for
working
sure
out
and
now
talk some
or
high
not?
stakes.
And that was not me.
Yeah.
So they self-rugged on that one. Anyone drinking? Yeah, it certainly seems like we all are.
I wish.
with
I wish.
quality going on. So yeah, introed Dip Catcher earlier. Black HEXican talked a little bit, and we'll get more on the Million Pulse tour because we have some questions for her. Motley, greetings, man. How are you?
Doing good.
So
Had a fiasco selling my car.
Story? Tell us.
Yeah, what? Well, I thought we'd get into the more important stuff. We have guests. We have guests, Cabana. Let's focus on the important things. People can hear about my fiasco of a car sale later. I did sell it for $4,000 over what I bought it almost 3 years ago. After I put 30,000 miles on it, though, that's pretty cool. Hello, inflation, everyone. and it's a Ford Fusion. It's not like it was anything stellar by any stretch of the imagination. Absolutely
I
wild.
had a Ford Fusion too. It was,
I love that thing.
It was one of those energy ones though with the plug-in part too.
Oh, I did not get I did not have the plug-in one, but I still got like 43 miles mile a gallon or something like that.
It's still pretty sick. They're still great. It's a fun little car.
Finbear, I wasn't drinking when I hopped on stream. Now I kind of want to. Yeah,
I feel
Yeah,
it.
agree.
So,
All right, well, let's get this train back on track. So, Black HEXican, if we can continue, you gave us a nice intro. We're doing 9 markets, 40 some cities. What else you got?
yeah, I guess the biggest change is the colleges, right? Is the fact that instead of doing all the workshops in all the cities, that we really are focusing on visiting colleges, and so that's why we need the community support so much. That's why I feel like it's important for us to go on people's streams, because you never know who knows somebody, right? It's not always about your money. A lot of times it's just about your connection. And if you could put us in place with somebody that works at this university or this university to where we can have a captive audience, that would be huge. So we listened to Richard Hart, right? He told us a bunch of times that crypto sparkle is not the easiest in the American market. And so we did that. We took our time and we did some rebranding to be KSB.TV. And so it's hard starting all over when you go from 5,000 subscribers to now back to, like under 100. So that's why we're like going on to so many streams and talking about it so much. Just so
Go
that
subscribe.
you know, how to find us, how to communicate with us about what we got going on.
Awesome. So we were chatting in Talladega. You wanted to go over, I guess, because we were on, I guess, the Freddie Quotes 420 stream, hanging out, if you will, and aBit was, shilling his best as he does, and we were talking, I guess, about the donations for the Million Pulse tour, how that can take place. Do you want to expand on that? I'll even leave it up to aBit as well. If there's I know you had a graphic as well, but yeah, just in general, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'll start. I think the biggest thing is that we understand that PulseChain hasn't launched, and that a lot of people, all of us included, we have, put all of our money towards what we're doing, waiting for this fork, waiting for PulseChain, waiting to, see what happens. And so we get that 100%. And so that's why we want, even though we have to establish some timelines, right? Because we need to lock in our venues and we need to give you guys dates and locations so that you can prepare ahead of time to be there. We understand that, all the money doesn't need to come at one time, right? So if you want to lock in your tier before the tour starts, with 20%, you can do that. If you want to do, multiple payments throughout the tour, you can do that. It's really about, collaboration and participating. We've collaborated with so many people on this, not only with Hex Merge, but with Stakeinates, like where we're doing NFTs, the list goes on and on. A lot of them are speakers and new projects that are coming in that will be more like exhibit spaces where they'll have tables that are events. But we are not looking to make money. We are looking to provide the community with an awesome event, and not where you have to take, 3 days, and I love all the other events that we have going on. They're also necessary. But we have to understand that everybody can't travel. Everybody can't make a vacation out of things. And some people just need education, and they need it close enough where they can drive to it, So we're getting out on the road, and we're going to wrap an RV. Like, what better marketing is that for all of our projects, than to have a big-ass RV wrap that's like, I was saying, when we went to Talladega and Daytona, that was the only thing we were missing was a HEXican hub, where we can be, and we can set up tents outside and tables no matter where we are, at parks, at beaches, anywhere. But we need that for us.
It's kind of like a concert, music concert mentality. It's like the tour bus, right? Like the tour bus gets to town and it's that's the main act, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, check that out, they're here, kind of thing. And that's the hub, and then people go there to meet, get autographs, all that stuff. That's a really good idea, because something that big is just a giant billboard, for one, and then two, it's a great landmark, like you just said, for big events like a sporting event or something like that. Be like, oh, just meet us at
at our RV.
Yeah, the RV. So yeah, that's a great idea. I'm loving that.
Yeah. So and it's the selflessness of the guys, because who would sell their R8, right? Their Audi R8 to do a tour RV, but they see the bigger picture, right? They see how meaningful what this tour is for the community as far as education. And they're willing to do that. They're willing to auction off the R8 to get this party started.
Hey, RVs are nice, Kaylin. They are really nice. It's just different, all right? It's just different.
Yeah.
Well, the R8, I think it's gonna be something like the community R8. Not our car anymore. It is the community thing. We wanted to give this car to the community so we can kickstart the Million Pulse tour. Like Kaylin said, the RV is so big a cost that we need to cover, and right now we are in the phase of giving everything to the Hex community, right? Using our knowledge that we gained from the last tour now to implement in the Million Pulse tour. But first of all, getting all the HEXicans together to really pull on one string. This is what we are doing here.
Yeah.
Kaylin, I'm so grateful for you working so much on this Million Pulse tour. This is just amazing. And now Patrick and me am able to think about all those things that we want to really do. You guys, what I want to say is we are really able to plan ahead this time. it will be so much different than the last tour. And I want everybody to be involved. That would be awesome.
I think
Yeah, I just wanted to say the same. You know, the biggest difference this time is planning. Last time it was like, yeah, awesome.
guys,
Let's
I think
travel
your
through
mics
America.
might be both
And-
might be on.
Yeah, because we are only have one mic right now, so it should work out. It should work out. No, it's not working or what? All good, Cabana? You can hear me?
It's just weird how much louder you are than aBit.
Maybe
Okay.
it's just the voice. Maybe HEXline is just louder than I am.
No, you guys are picking up
Michael
off
said
each
some
other, I
louder.
think.
We only stream with one microphone right now.
How's mine, Cabana? I'm switching back to my earbuds. Quieter? Better?
But
Can you hear me?
let's do this then.
God
Is
damn
it better now?
No, it should be better.
This
right?
is a mess. What's going on?
Sorry, guys.
It's still a mess? Not better?
No, I think they're good now.
Okay,
Yeah,
there we
you're
go.
good now? Okay,
How
we
about
change.
me? How about me?
It's the steering wheel for me.
Okay, one person talk at a time.
Cabana, can you hear me?
This just
Yes.
shows how new we are in crypto, right?
Okay,
I'm
Yeah, I
switching
mean,
over
we
to
are all
earbuds.
constantly traveling. You know, you see Big K behind the car. You see us like here in the jungle on a daily trip. I mean, okay, Kalen is at home. What I see. Motley, I know that he usually has a
DC.
different kind of setup in the background. So it's like 50% of the stream is like constantly traveling.
uh-oh, Big K,
It's the
what are you
police.
doing?
Big
It's
K.
not- it's-
Now
they went
that's
past
a
me.
first for
They went past me.
Big K, what
I'm
are you
okay.
doing?
It's just fine.
Oh, man.
Just fine here.
So BK, how are you feeling? Don't you want to be in a hex wrapped R8 right now?
I would love to be in a hex wrapped. All right, I'm actually in a Ford Mustang Mach-E. They call it a
Oh, nice.
Mustang, but it's not actually. Besides the horse on it, it bears zero resemblance to a Mustang.
It's the
Have you
electric
ever
SUV,
been
right?
driven 300 kilometers per hour with a sports car?
Yes, I have. Yes, it's pretty awesome.
But how many
I agree.
miles?
That's like
160,
how much
70?
is that? That's like 190.
Or 190? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
NASCAR
getting up
speed.
there.
All right. There you
Yeah.
go.
Hey, guys, can
Yeah.
I ask you something?
Yes,
We have a
David.
little bit of game TV going on with our sponsorship, with our exhibitor tickets, and also now with the R8 that we are giving away. So this was my thought. The Hexicans are funding cool shit all the time. And now we are doing the million poster, right? Kalen has all those tier system, and I think money will come in. I don't worry about that. But imagine somebody in Hex like a dolphin or a shark who wanted to contribute anyways, like let's say $100,000. And now us doing this auction, isn't that just like getting a free car? Like an airdrop of a free car? Guys, we all must embrace that, right?
Cars from the sky.
I just
love
sold
it.
my
What?
car.
I want a free car.
I don't need cars, fortunately.
Motley just got rid of one.
Get
so
rid of
yeah.
mine, so I'm out.
It'd be like an
For that
airdrop
reason,
though,
I'm out.
Motley.
I do like those. I do like those.
We can
And
talk
now by
while
the
we
price
watch this
17
beautiful.
samples, I'm like,
Yeah, I'm sure a shark can now afford the R8. You know?
Yeah.
Like only with the price action of the last 2 days.
Yeah, the chart looks great. I like it a lot. It's super cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
We are.
Everybody's smiling on stream.
Yeah, it's.
Well,
I mean, the
I'm
vibe
laughing
is.
at the comments.
We've been missing this vibe for months. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. So.
It feels good. I mean, the bear markets are going to happen, but yeah, it's like this feeling. We've had it on this show before. We've made actual official new all-time highs in Hex on this show, and it was a cool feeling to have. Obviously, we're not going to do that today, but I mean, it does feel the breakout feels just as good. So, and with PulseChain right around the corner, we got the Million Pulse Tour, PulseCon in the fall. Like this is about the most exciting time, and I think that's a great segue into.
Yeah, I also like it that Hex does the same. That a lot of sorry, Cabana.
There you go. Okay, one of the most exciting products out there, as Motley is just laughing his butt off. Maximus, and I know aBit is a fan. DAO Dip Catcher, down there. Maximus.cash is the website. Dipcatcher, everybody knows him. That's his Twitter handle right beside that. Welcome to the show. I love having first-time guests on here. So sorry you had to put up with everything you've had to put up with so far. Welcome. And,
thank you.
And tell us about the launch, man, because we have a little over a day left. I guess, just how do you think it's gone? Kind of according to plan, way more successful than planned. Were you thinking 500 million? Like where do you come down on all this?
I mean, it's truly blown me away, just like how well received it's been by everybody. So I definitely am thankful for everyone who's shown support, everyone who's made videos, even everyone who's just thought about it once. Like that definitely helps. And as far as numbers, like I truly had no clue like how many people would actually mint and how much would get minted. I thought that hitting the bigger pays better threshold would, like, I thought that was going to be a stretch, but then we just like smoked through that. And right now last time I refreshed it, we're at about 248.5 million hex. Stop. And so we're well past the 150 million bigger pays better max out. And with just 2 million more hex, we will suddenly become the 5th largest ever max length hex stake. So we have one day to get 2 million more hex, and we'll be in the top 5 for largest max length hex stakes.
But
and
sir,
this will
payout.
Yeah, I mean, as of now, the T shares that we have is on if you go to maximus.cash/hash dashboard, you'll see that at the current amount of hex, we're going to get about 35,000 T shares. Wow. And so there's 10.6 million T shares divided. And so if, what was that number? 35560 divided by.
Let's see how much my payout's lowered now. Great.
Yeah. So that it's by about 0.33% per year. Because now the share pool is now 0.33% larger. And, but if your stakes are locked in from big payday, the amount of earnings per T share is still is going to far exceed that. So if you're locked in from before then you're missing out on a smaller amount. But yeah, I mean, this is just how the T share system and the hex staking system is designed. When more people stake, they dilute the interest payment for everyone else. But on the other hand, those hex are now not for sale. And so it's kind of like, lower by about 0.3%, but now that's, 250 million hex that could have been competing with you as a seller, where now those hex are not going to, every single person who's staked will at least have one day to front run the Maximus stakers. So, it's kind of a fair trade-off, I think. But yeah, it's 250 million. I knew people would like it just because it makes sense. And I knew that a lot of the smaller stakers would be drawn to it because, like, a lot of the people that I've been onboarding pretty much for the last year, pretty much after big payday, I was like, honestly, just hold liquid because, you're going to earn more on staking, but the gas is going to eat into it, because a lot of people, if they're just getting started and they just have like a couple $100, that like a gas payments, if the timing's bad with like an NFT launch, then you're going to be paying a lot. And, you might as well just try to like catch a hex pump. We've seen hex pump, 20,000% in, a short period of time. And so when price is running so hard, you don't necessarily, you as a smaller person who's definitely impacted by gas fees, you don't need to earn that little bit extra hex when you're going to pay a large and variable gas fee, when you could just like hold liquid and then sell into a pump if you want to. So for a lot of new people, I hadn't been recommending staking, but now that Maximus is a solution for drastically lowering the cost of staking, I'm really not surprised that a lot of people have joined. Like when you look at the Maximus holders, like distribution on Etherscan, right now, when you look at the so the top 100 holders collectively own 62%. So about 40% of the Maximus is held by people that have less than 400,000 hex. So there's a lot of participation from people who previously were pretty priced out of staking. So that's pretty exciting to me. But at the same time, we're seeing massive holders also minting Maximus, like people with tens of millions of hex. I think the largest holder right now, holy shit, someone has 10 million hex or 10 million Maximus. Yeah. And so like, but they're only they're 4% of the total. So we've seen really diverse participation, which on the small end of it, those people were previously priced out of staking, so it makes sense why they're participating, because the gas to mint your maxis only, like, people are paying like $8 total, and so that's like nothing. And so it really unlocks that staking for those smaller people. But then I think the larger players are more interested into it for that yield bearing aspect, or the market making aspect, or also just like the swing trading opportunities of selling into premiums, buying into discounts, and providing liquidity that way. So we've seen a lot of really diverse participation, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, you've touched on, I guess, a variety of just awesome points about this. One of them is taking supply off the market. I don't know if this is true because I haven't checked the pools lately, but HP Morgan says 77 million hex is all that's left on the market.
So I looked at apphex.win is, I think they may be citing just one of the pools. If you go to, there's a site apphex.win/charts. They show the pools.
Yeah, I mean, it says 77. Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, shit. Yesterday that was at 106. I tweeted about that because I showed that the Maximus treasury had surpassed the sum of all the hex that's in liquidity pools, and so now that's even less, and you're seeing it in the price. It's been since since the launch was announced on April 13th, the hex price is up something like 54%, and so
Richard also kept with his mid-May launch, so that helps too.
Yeah, that too. Finally, and also just all the sellers are exhausted. All the big, it's like you can only sell so much, and so it's now there's more room for new waves of buyers to push the price up, and combined with people getting ready for snapshot, people minting Maximus, which is just that those are coins that could have been for sale. And a lot of these coins, like when you poke around on in these wallets, you see all kinds of dog shit in there. So these people are trading. So like they're not like people hoarding that hex till death. Those are people like looking for the next quick opportunity. And so that's like a big source of sell pressure that will be alleviated in about 25 hours from now. So
that's awesome.
That's big time.
So I know that we have the guys below me, especially aBit, is a huge fan of Maximus. So I wanted to allow aBit to have the floor here and ask any questions or comments to Dipcatcher on Maximus. So go for it, man.
Well, first of all, I must say I'm a big fan, and since the first day of Maximus, I'm just blown away every single day because I learn more and more and more. And of course, I could talk about Maximus all day, but right now, what is most important for me is that it is taking away sell pressure in the future. Not just the hex that is being stayed to 555 is being taken away as sell pressure. In my opinion, this also, because now there is such a big stake out there, we all get it diluted by a little bit. You talked about the percentage 0.3 something, and now this is also reducing sell pressure in the future, because now I'm getting less, now I can sell less. Is that correct?
Yeah, you're spot on. Yeah, that inflation that would have been paid to you as your stake ended is now delayed until our stake ends. And so yeah, it certainly does dilute especially people that are they don't have extra time to make up for that dilution, like a lot of stakes ending soon. That definitely has a big impact on that. So you're 100% right about that.
And that leads me into the next question. I've been in the Maximus chat a lot, and for me it's not too clear. Is it a 4x bonus on Hedron or a 5x bonus on Hedron?
So it's considered the 4x bonus, but there's some other extra 1x thrown in there. So in effect, it's 5x than if it was minted outside of the whole thing anyway. So in effect, it's 5x, but it's classified as the 4x bonus.
Oh, I was happy with 4x, and I'm happy to find out it's 5x now.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because like
in
the last 10 days of the 100-day period, it's still a 1x bonus. So it's still like the normal calculation plus 1x. So and now it's like the normal calculation plus 4x. So 5 in total.
And then of course the last question that I want to ask: is it correct that it basically does not matter too much when you buy your Maxi? Well, you can buy your Maxi in, let's say, 2 years. You will still participate from the best t-shirt price ever.
Yeah. I mean, depending on the price that you pay for it, you know, like if you're lucky and there's like a bunch of big Maxi people are cashing out, and you might get one Maxi per hex, even though that Maxi is backed by more hex than, because it's earned 2 years of interest. And then there's like, still 13 years of potential earnings. If you're lucky and you get that 1-to-1 rate, it's like you went in a time machine, went back in time and bought T-shares at that time. But you're in a 13-year stake, but you're capturing that 15-year T-share rate. I mean, even though it would be the same, but it's like say in 7 years, if you got lucky and timed it where your purchase was at a time when a lot of selling on Maxi and you got 1-to-1, that's like as if you had done a 15-year stake, but you only bought it today with 7 years remaining. So it definitely it can help you make up for lost time if there's a lot of Maxi people that want to cash out, and then you're in there with liquid hex to buy from them. So maybe it's your current stakes end. You can't mint with those. That may line up perfectly with when large Maxi holders just want to cash out, and then you may be in there ready to buy from them, and so you could get.
I would have a follow-up question to that, because I was also thinking a little bit like how the Maxi price will perform and so on. And my best guess is that it will be at the most a 20% discount from the treasury value, but in bull runs it could easily be like 100% premium, because there won't be like so much liquidity on the pair, and especially bull run crypto markets are the most irrational you can imagine.
Yeah, definitely. Like if people really want hex so bad, like no matter how they can get it, where they're buying Maxi because it's giving them that hex exposure, like those people could get pretty crazed. And especially if it's early on in the stake, there's so much blue sky you can paint in that future earnings. Like what is that average? That's the big question, is what is that average payout per T-share going to be? No one really knows, because it's based on future activity that you can't predict. But
we have a good guess
early on. Yeah, what? So I generally predict lower than what you guys predict. I actually think that the current payout is actually a very accurate representation of the future, because it's as if the existing T-shares get replenished by at least a 3.69% rate. So as stakes end, at least 3.69%. They have at least 1.0369 times as many T-shares after. So I expect more staking to happen, and so for it to match the daily inflation, so I think the daily inflation's that increases it by 3 points, that baseline by 3.69% per year. But then I think that there's going to be on average at least 3.69% more stakers per year. And so I think that with one curve going up and one curve, maintaining that 3.69, I actually think that the current payout could even trend till the end of this 15-year cycle.
No, that's not possible.
How come?
Because the T-share rate always gets more expensive, and then people can afford less T-shares over time. And even if you come with a Maxi 2 and a Maxi 3 and the Maxi 500, on a certain point it won't go to the 150 million anymore, because there is just not enough economical energy to fill that up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think where it can come from is the people, because for that to hold, that would mean that, because like right now it's like a 2.5 year stake is now eligible to end, and so to reclaim that same number of T shares, they have to restake everything that they got for at least that number of days in order to get the same exact number. And so because
no, not in order to get the same exact number, because they are behind the T-share rate. So it will already be like up to 10% behind.
Yeah, so wherever that threshold is of like how long they have to stake in order to reclaim that same number, it still is a reasonable amount during this first 15-year cycle, because you can take a 2.5 year stake that just ended today and restake it for 3 years and then reclaim those T-shares. So because I expect more people whose stakes are ending.
Yeah, but usually human behavior suggests that there is at least a little portion like taking off the pie, you know, and not restake really everything for the same amount of time. So people and usually people who are getting out like a 2.5-year-old stake right now, they don't have this one single stake. So they usually have like a staking ladder. So they are more interested in 4-5 staking, in 5-5-5-5 staking. So they can like cut 20% off and sell that on the market, for example, and only put like 60% of the whole stake for 5-5-5-5. Get like even a little bit more T-shares than they had before, and have a liquid bag just in case of 20% of the value of the stake as well.
So let me explain what we think about T-shares and how much T-shares there will be in existence in the future, because we covered that a lot in our workshops. We had to think about that, and basically the question we have to ask ourselves is how many T-shares will have in existence in the future, let's say in 15 years, and what is the staking ratio, right? Like you said, how many people are really staking, and this is what we cannot predict. But what we thought out is that maybe in the 15 years we could have payout per T-share of 100 hex to 150 hex. This is what I'm
No, you're too high. I mean, okay, no, but he's like now in 5-5-5-5. So maybe, but actually
we got
too
the
high.
extremes over
So
here.
also
we got Dipcatcher, then we got aBit, and Patrick's trying to be.
It's a good balance. Yeah.
And also, when I try to calculate this for myself, I'm thinking about the average over that period of time. So whatever
I would say 25 to 30.
Cut in half. Yeah. So
I would say 25 to 30. As not like average.
I mean,
is
shit.
hard,
I hope.
But 20 to 30.
I truly hope, because that just even further, bolsters the value proposition of Maximus, because you're capturing the most of that increase as you possibly can. Because like right now, at our current stake, with all the minting that's happened so far, we're going to be like the 5th largest max length stake. And so what that means is that we're the 5th largest in terms of income potential per hex. We have the top 5 rate ever of any stake. And of the ones that were after Big Payday, it's like top 2. And so like this stake alone is just going to be a high performer, like on a per hex, like the earnings per hex stake basis. The Maximus stake is going to be a really high performer. And so the higher that number is, the better. Like at Maximus, people they hope no one stakes ever again. Like they don't want there to ever be another staker. Or maybe they want everyone to just hold their hex liquid until the day before the Maximus stakes ends, and then they all just bundle it all and max length stake that the day before our stake. Like that's the ideal scenario for you as a Maximus holder, is that no one restakes until 5,550 2 days from now, and then they all stake it all. You know what I mean? Like you want the max earnings during our stake. But then around the time that ours becomes liquid, we want very low liquid hex. We want, 3.69% APY. Like we want no hex around at that time.
I would have another question for you. Because I expect that if, let's say we have 250 million Maxi coins in total, I would expect over the years that this goes through at least like 7 to 10 different hands. So I expect there is some volume going on in the trading pair as well. So I disagree a little bit that like all the Maxi holders are like the long-term holders and will never sell their Maxi and want to bundle a new
sure.
portion of Hex like in
I
5,554 days.
I
Yeah,
think
certainly.
Maxi gives the people just a good option that like even OG hex takers, right, usually have a very, very small percentage allocated to being liquid, right? Maxi just gives you the ability to still hold liquid, but then have the ability to technically have access to a very long-term stake that also has the 10% bonus. And so the people that feel the need, like they want to sit there and trade hex, they can use Maxi as that tool. And so like even right now with the Maxi price versus the hex price, you can get about a 12% discount on Maxi. So it's a good way in theory to even just buy your hex, right? Because not only are you buying technically hex at a discount right now of about 12%, you also have access to a max length stake that has the 10% bonus on top of it. So right now Maxi is undervalued by a pretty good margin, and you can just start scooping that up right now. So it's a fun little. If you need to get a little bit of a trader's fix, like Maxi actually enables you to have that fun, and then still maintain all your normal hex stakes. It's definitely a cool project. I like it.
Yeah, it gives you another option on how to earn more hex while your coins are liquid. Because when you're staked, especially max length, and you're that's like the most yield you can possibly earn. But during that whole time, if you're staking on your own, that's fully illiquid. But with Maxi, it gives you that chance to have exposure to that max length stake yield, have instant liquidity. So maybe that instant liquidity means you may have to sell at a discount in order to unload your whole position. But maybe that averages out to somewhere in between, early end stake penalty versus, some like low ball on what you might earn in the future. You may, in order to sell today, you may have to give up future earnings. But also on the other hand, while your Maximus is liquid, you can provide liquidity on the Maxi hex pair, which because it's like has that center of gravity of the redemption rate, perhaps that's a better pair to provide liquidity for. And so you can earn yield while your assets on both sides are fully liquid. And so now there's like a liquid yield earning opportunity in Hex. And so that's, there's attractive things for that class of users as well.
I would have another question because I would like to ask you for your opinion. I have my onboarding account, where all the giveaways are going off and so on. And I still have like a little more than 50,000 hex on there. And I was thinking about moving that into Maxi as well. And then in the future, because it's like a cooler giveaway in my point of view than just the hex.
Absolutely, because you're giving them hex. Maxi is hex. Like,
yeah.
It's every day that goes by, it's backed by a little bit more hex. And so, as far as giving, like that's in order for onboarding a person to be a staker in hex. Previously, you had to give them some hex, and then they had to stake and pay the gas to do it. And so now you can kind of give them pre-staked hex, and that may be a really powerful message to them. And it teaches them about like some of the value propositions of hex, where like hex is like the reason why all this can happen is because hex is true DeFi. Like it's a true smart contract where you don't need to ask permission in order to do it. Like no one can shut this off. Like it's using the code exactly as how it was written. And so it's like, it's all the values of hex are by default, just like transferred to this, no admin keys, fully trustless, unstoppable. You can run, you run the code, you mint your own coins, like all those things that, especially a lot of the newer HEXicans, they weren't around for the adoption amplifier. So like the whole like no expectations and like fully trustless DeFi thing, maybe that's not as resonant to them, but for a lot of the people from, kind of our cohort, that really matters. And so all those same values that brought a lot of people into Hex, we carried forth those same things in Maxi. So giving someone Maxi, like you're still giving them hex, you're saving them gas because they don't have to stake it on their own, and all those same values that like are really the core and the foundation of what makes hex so strong. Those are just carried forward through that. So I would definitely think giving Maxi is an awesome gift. So I would love for that to be happening.
Yeah, I just wanted to catch up on. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kaylee.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I agree because the whole tour, right? It took us 6 months, and we gave away over 5,000 hex at every workshop. and none of that hex was essentially working for the people that we gave it to.
That's a great
Because we
point.
need to be able to give it away, it needs to be liquid. So we never benefit from staking. This allows us as a tour to benefit, and as you know, the winners to benefit from staking, but still be able to give it away without waiting for the stake to end.
Yeah,
What I
absolutely. Yeah,
love the
that's
most
awesome.
is
Yeah, that's a great use
you
case
have
for it.
you have to know hex in order to be in Maxi, right? And this is why I just love Maxi so much. It is like the first sentence that you read on Maximus.crash. You cannot do it better.
Thank
And
you.
I would
Yeah.
have another question for you. What
yeah.
do you think of liquidating fluidity? Providing
Liquidating
liquidity.
fluidity.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting
So,
one. I'm a little mixed up with my
Yeah,
languages
liquid.
because I'm learning a lot of Spanish right now. And yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
forget
yeah.
about us, Patrick.
So let's see. I mean, right now, if we go to the DEX tools, let's pull. I'm gonna look at how much liquidity we have right now on the hex pair, but at least during this launch phase, because it's been 1-to-1 mintable and 1-to-1 redeemable, it's actually been a pretty good coin to provide liquidity for, because it's like tightly bound to that like 1-to-1 rate. So, and then
Yeah, but
as
that will change, no, over the years, because that's like my guess. So I don't know if it's so good like to do the hex maxi liquidity pair, because as it is maybe also traded as a premium, as maxis might also be traded as a premium, you might have an impermanent loss there.
Yeah, and so but because you can kind of predict the premium, like you guys have your estimates for what the future earnings are going to be, and if you pair that future earnings growth with potential price growth, then in addition, like to minimize the loss to impermanent loss, what you as a liquidity provider could do is just like factor that in, where you understand that there's going to be that impermanent loss. So maybe like outside of the liquidity provider, like those like kind of like positions that you're kind of locked into, you're also selling when the price is at 1-to-1, or selling when the price is at like 1.5-to-1, and then kind of swing trading the bound. So maybe you're experiencing impermanent loss from like the basis, but then from those boundaries that it may, like just the range that it forms, to like minimize that impermanent loss, you can kind of make up for it in that way, to where like your average, buy side position, maybe over time is shrinking instead of like in impermanent loss. That means that your buy side position is growing. You got more of the thing that went up that went down in value. And so, just because it's kind of predictable what that future earnings is going to be, you as the liquidity provider can take steps to mitigate that risk, which is harder to do in other coins that like you really don't, like on that Hex ETH pair, you really don't know what that's going to do. But on the Hex Maxi pair, it takes a long time for that daily payout per T-share to change. It takes a lot of stakes ending and a lot of stakes starting, and then that's what determines what it is. Like that 6 day Hex per T-share, like it's going to take a lot of time for that to move dramatically. And so because that, and you can estimate roughly how long it takes for that to change, you can plan your position around that to minimize that permanent loss.
Dipcatcher. All right, let me get a bit. I'll save that just for 1 second, please, so I can. I don't want to miss these questions in chat. These are probably pretty simple. For Dipcatcher Crypto BD, when is the maxi start of the stake of Hex?
So the stake will start on day 880, which is day 881 when you look on go.hex.com. So the hex day that the smart contract spits out right now is day 878. But if you were to look at go.hex.com, it says 879. That's just because the smart contract starts at 0 and go.hex.com started at 1, just for like better readability on that first day. So the stake will start in about 25 hours and 40 minutes from now is when the stake will be eligible to start.
There you go.
Yeah.
Swizzle Sticks asks, What will happen for the maxi that is lost in wallets or misplaced, etc.?
So maxi that is just like where you lost your private key that held the maxi, that will just stay there forever, and the hex that it's backed by will just stay in the Maximus contract forever. So those like that class of not loser, like they're losers, but the person who lost their key, that person, they are not increasing the payout for everyone else, but they're just like not ever going to sell. So like they're helping bake in a premium because those coins are just not for sale. But so that's just like hex, same thing as if that person just otherwise lost their hex keys.
So
But
I have a follow-up question on that, to see if you can expound on it a little bit more. So I know to do a pool like this, you had to essentially remove the feature of emergency end staking for the pool in your contract. So okay, those maxis get lost. Are we going to be able to good accounting them, or are they going to forever dilute the T shares as time
no,
goes
so
on?
because the stake all happens at once,
Mhm.
like Maximus is a single stake. So all this hex being pooled is staked all at one time. And because all it takes is just one person to end the stake,
Mhm.
even if that person lost their maxi, they don't need to go in and like end their stake. So like their maxi's lost, but then once somebody ends the stake and
Oh,
then the
okay. Yeah.
contract
Got
calculates
it.
how many hex per maxi, that
Yep.
maxi still is eligible to redeem that. But if that person lost the keys, then no
Gotcha.
keys, no cheese.
Gotcha. Yeah. One function and it's done. That's right.
Mhm.
And one last question before we get back to aBit. This one is for Patrick, and I say it's for Patrick because you'll know immediately why. DJ Nom Nom, who I recognize from DJ Cryptomatic's stream. What's up, my man? He's, sorry for the noob question, but Patrick, what is a T-share? Could you explain that rather simply for DJ Nom Nom, because I do recognize him and he's learning about Hex.
Yes, of course. So you know already that in Hex you are your own bank, and as you're your own bank, you have your Hex coins, and then you can decide two things with your Hex. You can decide how much of those you want to put to work, and then you can decide for how long of a time frame you want to do that. And the longer you do that, the more so-called T shares you get in return, which just represents your participation of the total T share pool, and the total T-share pool gets all this paid out on a daily base, but they can only use it once their stake length is done. Or you do something like Maxi, where you can get the maximum flexibility with the maximum return.
There you go. Thank you very much for that explanation. And
Welcome.
thank you, DJ Nom Nom. Abit, you had another question, I believe, or
Yeah, well, I
comment?
want to ask about PulseX and about all the power that the gladiators have. We have over 3,500 gladiators, and they have a lot of financial energy, right? This is what will be staked. But I bet they also have another energy, which is voting. What can we do in order to make the Maxi Hex pool in PulseX the incentive pool?
That the pool receives a lot of the incentive token is the question.
Yeah, so great question. So there's not 3,500 now. There's 4,300. So it's even greater. And I haven't looked yet, but it would be cool to plug in all the Maxi holders and just see how much PulseX those people have. Obviously, every people may be minting from a separate address than is their PulseChain one, but we'll get some overlap there. So if people want to get the Maxi Hex pair, or maybe the eMaxi PMaxi pair, which is like that may be a whole like the difference between the eMaxi PMaxi versus the eHex PHex, that like how those trade will tell a lot about the hex economy just in general. So like that's probably a valuable pair to have, the PMaxi eMaxi, but also just like the PMaxi PHex pair, that's going to be important as well. So because there's now 250 million hex worth of people that care about this topic, and maybe there's a lot of overlap with the PulseChain people and PulseX people, and especially because like PulseX really introduced the concept of like liquidity provision for hexagons. Like before now, like it was kind of an afterthought, but now that PulseX is like to me the most important part of the whole PulseChain thing in general is PulseX, that cross-chain liquidity incentivization. So now that that's kind of like introduced this whole liquidity providing strategy into the lexicon of the hexagons, that is really important. And so if we can get the MAXI, it just incentivized, whether that's the PMAXI PHEX or if that's just like eMAXI PMAXI, whatever that pair is, getting that incentivized could be a massive catalyst for growth, for Hex specifically, because MAXI is like a Hex related token. And so like that's drawing in a lot of liquidity around just like the Hex to Hex stuff, so that's eHex, PHEX, and also PMAXI PHEX, just like all the like intra Hex liquidity pools. If MAXI is part of that, that could create some really awesome opportunities for people who have a bunch of Hex and can easily have a bunch of MAXI right now if they mint. So I think that I think we have a good chance. I mean, what other thing has 4,000 people like organizing around like a single coin where there's serious benefit to liquidity provision? Like that's the whole value proposition of Maximus, is the liquidity. And so now that there's a platform that can even further bolster that value proposition, and there's 4,300 people that care about it with $42 million worth of energy just on their liquid Hex that they're willing to put there. Who knows how much they had sacrificed for PulseX. And so, maybe the MAXI holders are going to be serious PulseX movers and shakers, and but who knows? But at this point, like it's unclear what just how much voting power people have, truly like with their PulseX. No matter how much they put in, like how much influence do they actually have on what gets incentivized? So that's the main driver, is just like how much it requires to vote on that pair. But we do have a lot of there's something here, and it's not just like a small cohort of people. Like there's generally pretty unanimous support of MAXI. Like I really I don't know anyone who's against it, to be honest. So there's a lot working for it.
Yeah, we had a question about airdrops, and Gold Key, who is in chat, answered claiming airdrops through Maximus would require admin keys, which Maximus doesn't have for security purposes. But word on the street is there might be an airdrop coming for MAXI minters, rumors and such. So thank you, Gold Key, for that.
Yeah,
explanation.
You never know. Think not about the airdrops you're going to miss out by being a Maximus. Think of the airdrops that you only get for being a Maximus. That's what I prefer.
I like it. Patrick and aBit, or Kalen too, any other questions for Dip Catcher while we're in the Maximus zone?
Well,
I have another question. So like, what do you think? Would it be beneficial for the community if Maximus gets like a boost on single Hex workshop events?
I wanted to ask this question because we have that total good package, and now every exhibitor, every YouTuber could just decide how much they want to be involved and maybe have a boost in our workshops, because I will definitely chill MAXI for the end of my life.
I mean, absolutely, because it's you're selling Hex, like MAXI is just like a different way to hold it, that for the users end, especially for new users who are really sensitive to the network fee. Even though PulseChain is going to solve that in the short term, like once that launches, like for the Ethereum-based Hex, that's like a bit like that, very low fees to have this, to hold staked Hex, like that's big. And so I would absolutely love if this became part of your education and messaging, because that's a big deal to those people. And also it doesn't force you to compromise the other things that that are like kind of core to like the Hex ethos. And so I think that it's a really good balance of ease of use for the end user, ease of onboarding, combined with like still like those kind of like cultural and like kind of like code of ethics types of stuff around Hex. It maintains that, and that's really important.
I have another follow-up question for you. Assuming that the Hex price versus the US dollar is the same on both blockchains, Ethereum and PulseChain, do you think the MAXI price will also be the same versus the US dollar on both chains if the hex price has parity?
Great question. So probably not, to be honest, because the liquid hex price, like the PMAXI or the PHEX to EHEX exchange rate, that's how the market is measuring the value of liquid hex. Whereas the PMAXI, EMAXI exchange rate is how the market is measuring the value of staked hex across the chains. And so with Ethereum being, at present, like at launch, because who knows what the PulseChain gas prices are going to be in 15 years, but at the present, the just like the transaction cost is going to be greater on Ethereum than on PulseChain, and so perhaps
the other way around.
that saving, or it's going to cost you more on ETH, and so perhaps that extra cost that you're saving on, maybe the market might value the long-term staked hex on Ethereum slightly more, purely because it's baking in that gas savings. Because maybe on PulseChain it's not going to be as urgent to save on gas if like right out the gate it's like nothing. And so but that comparing the PMAXI EMAXI price relative to the EHEX PHEX price, that will tell us how the market is measuring the value of the staked hex across the chains versus the liquid hex across the chains, which could be drastically different. And so
thanks for that. Now you put another thought in my head.
yeah. It's that's why I was so, because like we could have launched this, we could have waited fully till PulseChain to launch this, and it would have been fine. It could have launched, and then PulseChain could have started like midway through launch. It would there was really no difference in how it all operates, but I really, really wanted the whole minting to take place before PulseChain fork, because just because of how intuitive it could make it to be able to measure that relative difference in value of the staked hex versus the liquid hex across the chains, just having like equal supply of both on both sides, that just would make it so much easier. You look at two values and then instantly like what that long-term premium or discount that's being applied is, whereas having to like, if you had to adjust the supply, that would just make it kind of tricky. So that's the big number to look at. Like that's gonna be really important for assessing value of hex in general. So I'm excited to see that.
Right now we are seeing a lot of short-term staking. Like it has always been like this in hex. People are staking for 7 days, for 30 days, of course, big volume. And MAXI is basically fixing this, right? Why should somebody stake for 30 days if they could just buy MAXI and just earn way, way more? So do you think people will stake less short-term, and maybe the t-shirt pool will go up because of that, because people are now staking more long-term?
Yeah, so it definitely could eat into that, because like from that person's perspective, they're like people that are doing these 30-day stakes. They're like 100 million hex for 30 days. They're trying to earn 1%. So they're trying to earn 1 million hex in that time, roughly what it is right now. And like a million hex in a month, like that, like especially if you bought that 100 million hex on January 4th of 2020 or whatever that low date was, like if your cost basis is so low and you can break off 1 million hex a month, that's a very strong income opportunity for that person. And so but now that there is this alternative there, one, it's diluting that person's payout, so maybe it makes it harder to stake those larger amounts for short periods of time
to get to the whole percent.
But and then two, it's now with that person has a business decision to make. Are they going to earn more hex in that month period by staking it, or or could they possibly gain that 1% or more by buying into a dip in the MAXI price and then selling into a premium in the MAXI price in that month time frame? So now there's like a different way to put.
Do you really think that there will be so much price movements? Because I was more assuming that maybe in the beginning, because liquidity is not really high, and maybe there is like some FOMO going on, or maybe there is like some parts of the MAXI community saying like, yeah, MAXI is the better coin to hold over the fork, something like that. And besides that, I was was not thinking about huge price movements, like huge volatility on a daily basis, like you are describing it right now.
Yeah, so maybe not like on like a intraday basis. Like maybe it won't be crazy, but it'll definitely, have it'll definitely run to the beat of its own drum because, like, for one, it's like it identifies like, right now there's like 4,500 people. That's like, compared to how many hex stakers are there, like something like 50,000 to 80,000. I don't know what the exact number is, but like, it is a pretty small, percent of the total. And so, the people that hold the maxi, if they're selling, if like the guy who has 4% of the maxi supply needs the cash now, like they could be selling a lot. And if there's just not a lot of liquidity there, that could be driving the price in all types of ways. And so, you never really know. But
actually, usually those guys who have like 1 to 5% of the maxi supply, they also have a lot of staked hex, right? They are like HEXicans. Those hex didn't came like from new hex purchases and then moved into maxi. Usually those hex came from early staking.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I disagree on the
it may not be
those
like,
people might cash out so much.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're less likely, but you never know. Someone could get, they, for whatever reason, you truly can't predict what, maybe they're less likely if they already have like a big bag elsewhere.
We have very large hex players right now that dump massive amounts of hex, regardless of price, everything like that. There's nothing to say that a maxi holder
yeah, sure,
would
but
do the same thing.
those people, I don't see the same people moving into maxi as well.
Are you tracking their wallets? Are you tracking those large shark dumpers?
No.
Are you tracking their wallets to see? Have you actually
Not
looked?
Not 100% precisely, no.
So I mean, it's just the same. There could be a few of them in the project, and they can still acquire the coins on open market at any time too, right? Even if they don't necessarily
That's true.
mint their maxi, they can acquire them on open market if they so choose.
Yeah. I mean, I really, it'll probably be like stablecoin-ish, but like, also just as the hex price goes up, that increases the, like, like how much of a discount that a seller may be able to tolerate. Because like if the underlying hex value is up 10x in dollars, you may be totally fine selling it like a 20% discount on your maxi because you still captured 80% of that move. And so like especially like even as the hex price moves up, that's actually when I expect there to be the most discounts, is when just the hex USD price moves, because people, if they're denominating their gains in dollars or not necessarily in hex, maybe they're denominating in ETH or in dollars, they may have really, they're fine locking in those gains even if they give up some of the hex that they may have been able to redeem at the end of the stake. And so like, it's all just comes down to individual people making choices. And so like it is kind of hard to predict, but because there is that redemption value, that does to me provide some type of center of gravity where like, if it's at too big of a discount, it's just like too juicy of an opportunity where like you can literally convert one hex today into, 1.7 hex in 12 years or whenever that redemption rate, and especially as time goes on and it gets closer and closer to that redemption period, maybe we see it just converging to the final value. But especially in the early days, it could be all over the place because it's so far away from redemption where people aren't necessarily thinking that, they're still baking in some blue sky potential earnings, which you can't predict. And so that, there could be wild, especially like especially early on, because that's the time of most uncertainty. Most uncertainty means most risk. And so risk and volatility go hand in hand. And so early on, I think we could see a lot of big premium discount, oscillation. But over time, it wouldn't make sense if like you can redeem the maxi for hex in a couple of days, exactly how much it's earned over 5,550 days. You don't know what it's going to earn over those last 5 days, but it's probably going to be really close to what it earned today. So like at that time, there's almost no uncertainty, and the redemption window is so, it's coming up so soon that the market probably won't tolerate much of a discount or premium. But much like tighter. Early on, when there's a lot of blue sky to paint in, maybe the market will tolerate a massive premium, or maybe just the market will target a huge discount because those people aren't even thinking about, in 13 years I could redeem this. They're like, I need cash now. So, there could be a lot of craziness in the first couple of years.
It's just amazing how awesome everything is going. Cabana, I want to thank you so much for having us on stream. A big opportunity for us, of course, to talk about the Million Pull Tour. And I got to meet Dipcatcher here. Really big day for me. So thank you so much. We have to jump off now. Anything to add from you?
No, I also want to thank you guys. Yeah, I hope to see you again soon, all of you, like Kaylin, Cabana, Watley. We already know each other live as well. Dipcatcher, I hope you come to meet as well at a certain point. It was a great talk. Thanks for answering all these questions in such a nice manner. And I am excited to see the Maximus stake coming to a start. And I hope you guys will have some time, to look up KSB TV. And last question from my side: what do you think about the Hex Cruise 2023?
Hex Cruise?
Yeah, Kaylin, go ahead.
Oh yeah, let's do it. I'm down.
Chill.
Bye guys. Caitlin, do your job.
Love me. Okay. Yeah. So Hex Cruise, huh? So if you don't know, I started hexmeetups.com. I actually will steal anybody's event. I have Big K's Chicago Bears game on there. I have the guys that are going to Atlantic City, Hex Machina, his birthday in Atlantic City. Any HEXican meetup that people tell me about, whether or not I can go, I will put it on hexmeetups.com. And so one of the events that was brought to me while I was at the Hex conference was this idea of doing like this huge Hex music festival. Since then, I've heard about Frosty doing one in Ecuador, and Shillet still is like 100% into this music festival. But it's going to be like 2-3 years down the line. And so to like kind of do like a smaller scale preparing for this, we decided to do the Hex Cruise, trying to get all the HEXicans in one place. Like Vegas is amazing, but you're always going to have people staying at like a million different hotels. Like it's, we had 2 dinners planned. We had like 50 people at one, 90 people at one, but I swear I still turned down like another 50 people. So like cruises eliminate all that. Like you can have one huge dining room. You can hang out with your favorite streamers, go jet skiing with them, do fun stuff, but then also have networking. So that's why we decided to plan the cruise. It's not till 2023, but the information is already there. We put information on cruises out this early because if you know cruise lines, especially Royal Caribbean, they sell out of the best rooms like super fast. Like if you know cruising, those inside cabins are like being in a box. Like that's not what you want. You want a nice, spacious cabin. So that's why we started advertising it a year in advance. It's only like $100 deposit to save your room now, and then the rest of it is not due till like 120 days before selling. So like that's the whole spiel. And look, Shillet made it into the room. Love that.
There you go.
Yeah.
All things Hex. So I want to come back to you on the PulseChain tour for the donations and any other questions that we might have. But for Dipcatcher, I wanted to go back to SJ's question because I think there are a couple different answers to this or parts of it. Am I right in thinking that this Maxi will be different than all Maxi moving forward because it's pre-PulseChain? So I would say yes, but could you just go into, I guess, some differences from like this Maxi, like the originator versus anything that could possibly, no expectations, come after it down the line?
Yeah, great question. So pre-PulseChain, meaning that it gets the copy of the Hex stake on PulseChain, and so the copy of Maxi on PulseChain is redeemable for that stake on PulseChain. So yeah, that's because like if the snapshot happens in a couple days, then like any future potential pooling or anything like this they would say we launch, even though you can launch the same contract with the same contract address on ETH and PulseChain at the same time, they will be different. So, being pre-PulseChain is just part of it. The benefit is really just in like easily seeing that value, having the same supply of MAXI on ETH and PulseChain. Like that just makes it easier to understand what the price is doing. So it doesn't necessarily like materially impact the performance of the stake. But this MAXI, it's locking in T shares at the lowest rate that a stake will ever. Any future one is going to get less T shares per hex staked. So that's part of it. Two, the Hedron bone, which we always kind of forget about the head. That's tacked on as well as we're locking in this 4x to 5x Hedron bonus. So this stake is going to earn more Hedron than any future potential pool. And also this stake is going to have, like every day that goes by, you're certain how much it earned that day. And so the certainty in the end earnings, like this one will always be more, you will always be more certain of like, how, what this is set to earn compared to another stake of this size and length. So, that's really, the kind of main thing. And, again, we're definitely focused on this one. But, clearly there's demand for more pooling, and that opens up a whole lot of ways that we can, tap into different types of staking strategies that are currently not feasible for small people to perform on their own, but maybe as part of this like pooled stake experience, different types of staking and liquidity strategies can make more sense. And so, we definitely have a lot of cool ideas swirling, but this first one's definitely the focus now. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say there.
Hints dropped just a little bit, but yeah, the 08th. I see what you did there. It's a play on words. Thank you, Crypto Sparboat. Yes, I will read your super chats.
I like that.
Yeah, and for tips. So yeah. Well done there. Shillet 3690. We build it. Y'all HEXicans, I'm sure will come. Hashtag Hex Cruise, Hex Fest, RH Statue of Freedom. So yeah. And what's up, Russ? Familiar face there. Hi, everyone. I have to watch these amazing HEXicans on rewind. Yeah, please do so, except for the first, 30 minutes of the show is...
Oh, my God.
A bit of audio and whatever else mess. But anyway, we have been back on target and good to go there. So I wanted to get back to Black HEXican because we still had, I guess, an item or two to talk about at least for the Million Pulse Tour while I got it fresh on my mind here. So I'm just trying to bring this up for you here. And so we have, I guess, on the ksb.tv site, we have all the information for it. But if you want to go over, I guess, some of the tiers, because this discussion kind of started, I guess, on Freddie Quotes' stream, I guess, a little over a week ago. And, there were some questions, I guess, in chat and floated about. So if you would like, I think it might be a benefit to go over some of the sponsorship tiers, if you could.
Yeah, sure. I know, it's a big deal to ask people to come out of their pockets, this far in advance, especially when some of these workshops, are way down the line, months in advance. But we want you to know that by contributing to the tour now, you save money. You save a significant amount of money and you pre-fund the tour so that we can get the venues faster, so that we can lock in the dates and get you locations so that you can prepare well in advance. The average price of a ticket of a full day workshop is going to be about $75. By sponsoring the tour now at the smallest level, I want to say that's the shell, and you'd probably have to zoom in because I can't see all that well, is $50. right? So just
Yep.
by pre-funding it, and you can choose what city you decide to come to the workshop in. You know, whether that's the first one or the last one, all you do is come back to the site and RSVP that you have a ticket. Some of the other tiers are really geared towards people who want to use this tour to onboard. A lot of the tiers come with multiple registrations, maybe some VIPs and some regular, so that streamers can, you know, reward their audience by giving out workshop passes or workshop tickets. We collaborated with Hex Merch, so there's a Hex Merch discount code that will be available in the swag bag that's made up of a lot of different Hex Merch. We collaborated with Steak and Apes, to where there are regional NFTs that you can collect. The tour code covers the 4 regions of the United States, and in each region we visit maybe 10 cities. Although there won't be a workshop in every one, there will be events in every city. So by you coming to an event in one of those cities, then you become qualified to access one of those regional NFTs. And so these are just some of the benefits. I mean, we're collaborating with designers within the Hex community to create these commemorative post tour jackets. We're wrapping a huge RV and then trying to get another truck that has the digital LED boards, where people like Maximus or Hedron, or maybe some of the more you know, meme coins or whatever, can put their logos on the sides of these vehicles, and they're constantly playing, you know, different images. So this is like a complete show. Like, I love the conferences, but we're talking about 3 days of catching eyes that are like just centered in that one event, where we are going on the road for 7 months, targeting all the major colleges, doing, you know, these big 1 day events that we hope to have at least 300 people at, um, going to huge sporting events with our big wrapped RV and giving away tons of free merch. So like there's no better way for me, as far as I'm concerned, to see a better return on your investment. You come to the workshop, you get to learn from all the people that you watch online, plus much more, and get like inside like help, like put your fingers on the buttons, and we're right here to support you do that. But we need your support, you know, first, to make sure that we can get this thing going. We need support from the most educated people in the community to sign up to say, hey, you know, I can't teach at every event, but I can be in Dallas, or I can be in Chicago, or I can be in New York. You know, we need help from people that are plugged into the college community to say, you know, go on our college page and just type in, you know, connect with me because I have this Greek organization that I work with, or I know the dean of this college, and you can probably do an on-campus workshop, you know, or you know, a big venue that can hold 300 people, and you have an easy way for us to, you know, negotiate that rate. There's so many ways that you can get involved and help us with this with this tour. And the tiers are just one way, but there are tons of ways that you can help us with this tour.
Yes, and a follow-up, I guess, is obviously this is USD. Is there a crypto way of donating?
Yes.
I think you
So
wanted to
just
touch on
scroll
that.
down a little bit more.
Sure.
Right under sponsor tiers. Now the sponsor tiers are ways for you to, you know, do it with cash, like credit card or whatever. If you want to do crypto, the only thing that I advise is that you still send us your information. Either that's like through email or through the contact button on the page. Because if you donate and you expect to get the privileges of this tier, I need to know who you are. So that's the only, you know, caveat with sending crypto. But we love crypto. Like we're in crypto. We'll take it in any amount.
There you go.
Yeah.
So cool. Thank you for all of that. Motley Investor, you got any questions or anything you'd like to add on that one?
No questions, Cabana.
Comments.
Proceed. Concerns, issues.
Share your concerns, please.
I'm excited for it. Yeah. I do need to talk to you, Kaylin, about maybe switching up which ones I actually speak at, though, because now that I'm doing this Puerto Rico thing, I might have to do it towards the beginning of next year, end of this year.
Yes, Florida. Yeah, we'll talk.
Okay.
I like Florida.
You may proceed, Cabana.
Thank you. Thank you for your permission.
Hear about your car. I'm like
What's
still
up?
on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a story.
All right. Story time, guys. We'll talk about the car. Yeah. So I sold my car, as you guys know, with the inflation of the dollar and the prices of commodities, everything's just gone completely out of whack. Supply lines, everything. 2018 Ford Fusion, bought it 2 to 3 years ago. Put 30,000 miles on it. I got it like 14,000 out the door, and I sold it today for 18.2 was my what I sold it for, which is absolutely crazy. It's a freaking Ford Fusion that's almost 3 years older from when I bought it, 30,000 more miles, and they gave me $4,000 on top. If that doesn't show you your your money's getting devalued right now, like I don't know what will. But as far as the selling story goes, so I was at CarMax. They make the process usually pretty simple. Got there early. There's like no lines. I was like, awesome. I'm gonna get in and out, no issue whatsoever. Give them my title. They go check out the car. Cool. Hey, we're gonna uphold the quote that we gave you online. Everything checks out, and end up waiting like 2+ hours, 2 or 3 hours after that for them to I guess go more over the mechanical stuff, make sure there was no issues with the car. It took forever, and I was like, come on, it's getting late in the day. This is why I was actually late to the show. And so they're like, okay, come on up. We're good for you to start processing your paperwork. And so they have all this paperwork done, and they go and slide across the desk, and they're like, hey, is all the information correct? And like literally the first thing on the top of the paper is your name. And I look at it, and so my first name, so like I go by Clay, but my first name is actually like Clayton, Clayton. And instead of that, they had typed up Clayton on everything. So there's no A, so Clayton. So imagine like you do like a real southern accent with it. And I'm like, that's not my name. And they're like, well, like that's what we got off your title or whatever. I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, yeah, we got it from their title. So I look at the title, and the DMV had misspelled my name. They totally dropped the A, so my name is now Clayton, that owns the freaking car.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck? Dude, they got my name wrong. They randomly changed like 2 numbers of my address. I'm like, what is going on? And it's funny, the title they mailed me had my correct name on top, and then they had the jacked up name below it. I'm just like, what the heck? So CarMax is like, well, if you're willing to accept the check with the name Clayton on it, we'll go ahead and we'll write it to you. But like, I don't know if your bank's going to accept it. I'm just like, well, shit, I don't want to go back to the DMV. It was already late in the afternoon. I don't want to go to the DMV, try to get this changed, then come back. I was like, all right. So I get on the phone with my bank. I was like, hey, like DMV screwed up my name. They dropped an A. It's very clear. The VIN number matches up on the loan. I was like, would you guys be willing to accept a check that's clearly not my name, but kind of is? And so I spent like 20, 30 minutes on the phone with this super nice lady at the bank, but I still hate banks. And and I'm just sitting there, and so like finally she's like, yeah, I talked to everyone, they gave me the thumbs up, supervisor says you're good to go. I was just like, all right. So she put some notes in there for me. But yeah, I managed to somehow like get CarMax to sell me a car when my name and everything didn't match up on the title, and then I got my bank to accept the jacked up check, and I'm just like, it took forever. It was kind of funny, but I was just glad I didn't have to go back to the DMV. I don't know who was working that day at the DMV when they processed my title, but it must have been like New Year's, or they're like still tipsy from the night before, because they just messed up my name, messed up my address, all that shit on the title was screwed up. And I was just happy at the end that everyone was willing to accept this made up person that was on the title and paperwork everywhere. And I'm like, right, I'm literally on the paperwork, I'm having to print my name as like the jacked up part so CarMax will accept it. Yeah, it was pretty entertaining. Moral of the story is I didn't have to go back to the DMV. And I got $4,000 extra for my car, and I'm not buying a new car, so I don't have to trade this awesome deal I had for getting $4,000 more, and then go buy another car that's way inflated. So now I just get to put that all into Hex, and end of story. Another chunk of money that gets to go into Hex.
You don't say.
Yeah, go figure, right? Me putting money into Hex. Who would have thought?
That's awesome. So I heard that you also put up a huge amount of Hex for the fitness challenge.
Yep.
Do you know anything about that? Because, like, I feel like I need to get it right, get it tight before the tour.
So if you guys don't know, Crypto Gymrat and Sam Stolt, they're doing a 90-day fitness challenge, and it actually starts on the 1st of May.
Tomorrow.
And so if you go to Crypto Fitness, oh shit, let me, shoot, dang it, where are they should be in here. Let me, hold on, I'll check. I think it's Crypto Fitness. I probably have it in my browser history. CryptoFitnessChallenge.com. If you go there, there's a place you can sign up with the crypto stuff. Like, obviously, you can just put a fake email in there. You can put a fake name. It doesn't matter. It's just to sign up. And then there's an app to download. And the app will have stuff like where you take pictures of yourself, dimensions, get your weight, all that stuff. And there's going to be 3 winners. There's like a leaderboard in the app. If you do a lot of the stuff the app asks you to do, then you get points. So there's going to be a winner out of that. There's going to be a winner that's chosen by Gymrat and Sam. So they're going to decide from the, like, just its overall transformation too. So if you're skinny and you want to put on muscle, or if you have extra weight and you're trying to lose weight and try to tone up, like, it's all about just transformation. It's not necessarily any specific goals. So you have that option. And then the last one is going to be community vote. So then the community votes on biggest transformation. And all the before pictures are completely private. No one will see them besides Gymrat and Sam, unless you say, hey, it's okay to share my pictures. The prizes are 100,000
or unless you
hex,
share them on Twitter.
Or you share them on Twitter. I'm gonna eat a nice big meal, and I'm gonna, like, blow my belly out. Like, I'm here to win. I've been bulking up for, like, the past week or two now. Like,
so you know then you're gonna win it back.
yeah. Because now that I've, like, sponsored it, I'm kind of, like, out of the running anyway. So it's just like a competitive thing. And so I'm competing against other sponsors and Sam and Gymrat. And Gymrat and Sam are already, like, jacked and in shape already. It's a transformation thing. So, like, I'm already, like, a thick boy and not, like, well cut. So I'm making it even thicker. And then I can get pretty shredded once I get focused in and I have, like, a competitive goal. So, like, I'm getting fat. Like, I'm literally trying to get as fat as
Wait,
possible.
so how do they pick the winner?
Transformation. So you have Gymrat and Sam will pick a winner. They'll pick a winner. In the app they have, there's different stuff you can do. Like, hey, take a picture of your meal. Hey, go do a half-mile walk. Do all this stuff, and there's a point system. You can win it that way. And then there's going to be, like, a community poll, and then the community votes on the winner. So 3 different ways. They're still figuring out the price structure and everything like that. But they initially had 10,000 hex, and I was going to match it. And then, so it's going to be 20,000 hex. And I was like, that sounds kind of lame. Like, everyone's health is important, right? Like, match your wealth with your health. So I was like, fuck it. Like, 90,000, we'll do 100,000 hex. So Marco donated 10,000 hex. I donated 90,000 hex. I went ahead and Hex Merch is going to donate $500 shopping spree. Shield Masters, that makes all the cool Hex and PulseChain and PulseX shields, is going to be giving away a free shield. Doesn't even have to be a Richard Hart shield. It can be anything you want, fully customizable. Staking Apes is giving away a bunch of NFTs. Sam has his own supplement line. I think he's going to be giving you, like, a whole stack of his supplements. So it's a lot of really cool, fun prizes. And then the Hex prize is just going up in USD value by the day as we speak. So that's huge. But yeah, it's going to be fun. 90 days. Essentially, it's just going to be the biggest. You want to have the best transformation possible. And it's going to be cool. I'm excited. I'm really excited just to meet
maybe
Sam.
I'll do that.
Do it, bro. Do it.
Yeah, it's like
Gymrat is in chat as well.
There you go.
Nice.
Like I'm gonna whoop up on Gymrat. It's just it is what it is. He's in too good of a shape already, so he's screwed.
Yeah, I mean, how much more cut can you get? Really?
Yeah, I know.
But
it's like I don't think him and Sam realize, like, how to, like, win this. They're over, like, posting pictures in the gym, like, flexing and shit. Like, yeah, I'm gonna win this thing. It's like, good luck on your transformation, bro. Like, what are you gonna get? Like, an extra pound of muscle and, like, just a little bit more definition. Like, I'm coming from fat boy to shredded in 90 days. Get ready.
So we gotta just, like, post a picture of us.
Yeah,
with our shirt off.
So go on CryptoFitnessChallenge.com and just download the app. And then once the app goes live and it'll walk you through all the steps.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm telling you, the only time I lose weight is like right before I'm supposed to be in a wedding, and I make my entire family like we're all doing weekly weigh-ins, like we're competing for prizes. Like I need competition.
It's like it's like that reality TV shows they used to do with like Biggest Loser.
Dude,
Yeah,
we've done that in my family like 2 or 3 times. Like family Biggest Losers.
Lauren's going to be doing it with me too, so you can hit her up and you guys can collaborate and do it together.
Yes, I'm in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you guys send full nudes, Sam and GRC have reserved the rights to remove you from the competition. So if you decide you want to get cheeky, be careful because you might get removed from the competition altogether.
Brazology wants to know if he sends his nudes to you.
No. Also hard pass. I will ban. I'll figure out a way to ban you if you send it to me too.
All right. So we were talking about before pictures, and I'm only sharing this because
Cabana's in shape too. If you guys don't know, this dude runs like a machine.
I saw it on Twitter. I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about, investor. But we will
you better get fat first, bro.
Check this out. We'll do a variation of our popular segment, and we will just say,
"Oh,
who the fuck is this?"
Bro. That was Agape Hex at one point in time.
That's Ricky, dude. I saw him post this, and I was like scrolling by, and I saw it was under Ricky. I read it. I was just like, I had to go back and look, and I was just like, is that Ricky? And then like, and you see the face. I'm like,
oh, you see it, absolutely.
Huh? Yeah. And I messaged Rick. I'm like, bro, can you get back to Chad status, please? Like, what the heck? Like, you're a good looking dude. Like, get your shit together. Like, you're in Hex. Your wealth is doing well. Like, get your health to match it. And like, the dude, he's a good looking dude. I need him to get back to that and take care of himself.
Dude, I had to watch him show this picture
to everybody
girls for 6 months.
See, and that's Ricky too. Like I know, like he's like that picture is probably his pride and joy. But like,
right. Look what you can have.
this is it's like.
Do you want to motivate me, girl?
It's a 15-year stake before it comes to fruition. It's like I can get back to this. This can be done. Just it's proof right here.
All I need is you to buy in.
Yeah, you take care of me. I'll get back to this. I got the wealth. We're good. But no, seriously, I told Ricky, I was just like, dude, get back to that. Like, because he is overweight, and that it's just not healthy. It's not a good way to go about your life. So like, and I was just like, bro,
you about it at Talladega. We actually talked about it before Jim Rat put this out, because we're always together, we're always doing stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, Ricky, this summer, let's do weight loss reality show. Like, let's just like get together, motivate each other, get it done. And that was just that wasn't enough of a motivation. So I love when they put that out. So we talked about it, and he's like, I think I'm down for this.
And 100,000 Hex,
right?
And merch shop and shields and all that. Yeah.
Well, we have, I guess, a bit of breaking news. Dipcatcher, did you want me to share this?
Yeah, go ahead and share it. So we just passed the 250 million Hex mark, which puts us at the 5th largest max length stake that has ever existed.
Wow.
So yeah, someone just came in with a 2 million Hex mint, and that took us from 249 to 251.
Woo!
And we still have about 25 hours left.
Stop. Leave my payout alone, you animals.
You're going to have to put in more.
Yeah, we're not getting top 4 stakes. That's it. You're only getting top 5. Get out.
I don't know. I mean,
what's number 4? What's number 4?
330. So it's
totally please don't hit that.
Totally
Fuck all of you guys. Stop.
and then 750 million after that, and then
guys, you can go buy MAXI at a discount right now. You don't have to mint it. Psst, secret from Motley Investor Alpha. Just go buy it at a 12% discount, you idiots.
I don't think it's a 12% discount anymore. I think that.
Oh, really? Has it started to adjust? Yeah. See, I threw
someone
it on
in the chat.
People had snagged it up.
Yeah, someone in the chat said it was like 9 something.
Okay.
Yeah, which probably gas.
And that's the thing too. Is like gap is always going to be moving, closing, opening, and like you said, like early on, there's a lot more speculation, open skies, but as it gets closer to the stakes fruition, that's going to be tighter and tighter as time goes on.
Yeah.
Mr. E is calling for 369 million there, Motley. OX Will is calling for
amazing, but I like my payout too.
Yeah. Here, I just switched out my screen to a different one to show a different tab. But yeah, so these are the MaxLink stakes that were larger than the Treasury. Now we've just broken through this one. So next one is 330 million, followed by 750 million. 922 million, and then the 1 billion hex stake that we saw a couple weeks ago. So yeah, I mean that's all that's standing between us and the number one MaxLink stake. And I think someone put out that this puts us at under shark number 20. So we're in like the top 20 of sharks, and there's 14 whales, 96 sharks, and so that puts Maximus in like the top 35 T-share holders. And since ours are starting now, a lot of these T-share holders that are above us that started during, pre-big payday times, over time, they're going to be, just as those stakes end, they're going to be losing their T-share ranking. And so who knows, maybe by the end of the, year 12 to 15, we may see that the Maximus stake is the number one T-share holder just because it locked in that early rate. Huge volume, and it's a lot harder now for someone to gain 1 billion hex to stake. Like the people that have 1 billion hex, they've had it, and so we may see this Maximus stake being like the dominant interest earner, which is pretty big.
Yeah, real quick, congratulations, Tip Catcher. I gotta go. I'm getting yelled at for dinner. Peace, love, prosper, guys.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I'll see you on the next one.
We'll wrap up here soon.
Congratulations, awesome job. I love the MAXI project. It's one of the favorite ones I've seen thus far from the community. Awesome. Keep up the good work. I hate you for ruining my payout, but overall, great.
Only by 3%.
Yeah, only by 3%.
0.3%. 0.3%.
15 years. 0.3% for 15 years. Bye, guys.
Take care.
One final question from Mango Junkie. How long does Dipcatcher think until we see the price of MAXI on MetaMask? I mean, add the coin, but the price of MAXI on MetaMask.
Yeah, so I think MetaMask pulls from Etherscan, and Etherscan pulls from either CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. We're waiting for CoinMarketCap to do the full listing, and then CoinGecko, they've been emailing me back and forth trying to get our thing right, and so. Probably in the next couple of days, once CoinGecko gets our market data correct, then we'll probably see that.
Nice. All right. Well, I think we're about ready to wrap up here. We covered two big topics. We got Maximus and the Million Pulse Tour. Dipcatcher, I guess we'll do the final Shillet segment and anything else that you wanted to cover, but tell us where we can find you. And we are a little over 24 hours from this Maximus pool closing.
Yeah. So, check out maximus.cash if you want to mint, t.me/Maximus DAO to join the conversation, twitter.com/Maximus_DAO. Follow me on Twitter at Tanto Nomini. Check dipcatcher.com, hex.cash, some of the other sites that I've built. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on, Cabana. And this is awesome.
Yeah, pleasure to have you, man. So cool. And always, first time guests and whatnot. BlaKC HEXican, we've hung out a bunch of times now, but where can we find you? Information on the Million Pulse Tour, all the good stuff.
Yes, ksb.tv, Twitter, BlaKC HEXican, spelled with the KC. And I'm also about to head out because we are streaming with Richard Hart tonight on Ladies Discord.
So are you going to be on there?
I am.
Nice. So yeah, 45 minutes from now on Discourse Syndicate, Richard Hart will be with the ladies. So this will give everybody a chance to grab some food, a beverage, and get settled in. Because it's been over a week, I think, since we've seen Richard. So that'll be pretty cool to hear him again. So thank you for that. Thank you, Dipcatcher and BlaKC HEXican, for coming on and enduring the first chaotic 30 minutes of the show as we got audio and everything else sorted out. Always great to hang with fellow Hexicans. This Maximus product is just outstanding. I endorse it. I'm in it, so I like to be a part of all the products that benefit the community and are supported and done by community members. So it's just really cool. I echo Motley's sentiments on it. So really love what you guys put together there.
So it's a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. And excited for, things we may not see in the future or may see. Never know. Never know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gold Key in the chat.
Yeah. You'll hopefully something cool.
All right, guys. And thank you, chat. You guys were awesome as always for all the questions. We tried to get to them all. I think I pretty much covered everything that was asked of the panel. Thanks to Patrick and aBit. Thanks to Big K for giving away the 2 tickets. I think they're going to go to Jack HEXican, as DVM was not able to use them. And I think we're good to go. So thanks, everyone. And we will see you sometime next week. I will be on the road, but I will try to make it happen once again. So